AITA for not saying hi to my dad's girlfriend? So me, 14F, and my dad, 44 meters, were super close my entire life. I was the textbook daddy's girl. Up until a year ago. For some backstory. My parents divorced about 2 years ago after they were together for 25 years. I later find out my dad was texting one of his coworkers, 34F, for up to 3 hours a day. I thought it was weird but didn't think anything of it. But she starts calling my dad and sending me and my brother gifts. That's when my mom came in and it resulted in them divorcing. My dad, for some reason, denies everything. But surprise. He tells me only a couple months after my parents divorced that he's with that same coworker now. Reasonably, I was pissed. But he ignored me every time I told him it was too soon to get into a relationship. He responds with, "You just don't want me to be happy." Half a year later he says she's moving in. I'm, again, pissed off. I never liked her. My dad tried to convince me that she did nothing. But no woman with any self-respect would message a married man for hours a day. So while my mom finds out she has a brain bleed, he decides to move her in. But that's a whole other story. So now I live with her half the time. I stayed in my room every time I was at my dad's house with my door all the way closed. And apparently she felt awful about all of it. But I stood my ground and didn't interact with her. I do around 20 hours of dance a week, so I was able to ignore her for most of the week, but the weekends were the issue. One morning I left my door open to my room and I was on my phone. GF walks by and says hi to me and I don't respond. She continues walking. My dad then run into my room, then hits me with the "We need to talk, I'm so done" at this point, so it turns into a screaming match. He calls me narcissistic and childish. I start crying and tell him to get out of my room. It didn't get anywhere and didn't help my dad or his girlfriend's case in my brain. Present day, I refuse to go to my dad's house at all since I've been dying.